What are the moral attributes of God? We've talked about what God is like in his nature, but there are two crucial terms that describe what he's like in his, if we can use the word, morality, in his character. One is the word holy. And holy needs a lot of explanation. Holy means that God is morally pure. It means that he is righteous. It means that he is just. That means he is fair in the administration of his law. He has regulation. He has a system. But he is not arbitrary in his use of the system like some human bosses are. He is fair. Everything is reasonable. And he is integral in the full sense of that word. That means he has integrity. He is truthful. What you see, what you understand, is what you're going to get. He's not going to vacillate or change or alter his perspective. He is fair and consistent. And he is genuine. That means he is true and real and not fabricated and not an illusion. God is genuine. And God is veracious. Oh goodness, all these long words. But that simply means he tells the truth. He tells the truth. And in the Bible it says, God is not a man that he should lie. Which is a pretty sad reflection on us, isn't it? And more so, God is faithful. God will do what he says he will do, and he will stick with it. All those things are encompassed by the word holy. It means separateness, sure, but don't get caught up just on the idea of holy being separate. It means all those related issues connected with his moral structure. He is consistently good. The other side of God's morality is his love. So one is holiness, which can be expressed in the law side of God. This is what is. But the love represents the other side of the coin completely. What does it mean to say God is loving? God is lovely. It must mean that he is benevolent. That means he cares for, he provides for those whom he loves, which are us. And that's why the Bible consistently uses the word Father. And if you've had a bad experience of the word Father, or even not known a father, that's irrelevant to this issue, because you can still explore the concept of what a good father would do. In fact, you might be better placed to do so. Do you not agree? A good father is consistently benevolent to those under his care, who will consistently care for, consistently provide for. And also, the way he does it is not ungenerous or grudging, but gracious. He deals with people on the basis of his own love and not on the basis of their worth or merit. God doesn't set up tests and see if you can reach a successful conclusion and then give you a reward like throwing a fish to a dolphin for a trick successfully performed. God is gracious and generous. And he's merciful. That means he's tender-hearted towards people who make mistakes. And if we are to be conceived of as children, then we also need to think of ourselves as sometimes, maybe frequently, as naughty children. As children who get it wrong, who are difficult to deal with. Can you believe it? But God is merciful and tender towards people who are needy. And he is persistent. That means he is patient and doesn't easily withhold. He withholds judgment, and he continues to offer help and support and to offer salvation. In the Bible it says, all day long my hands were wide open, but you would not. And it's a voice telling you about what God is really, really like. And the truth of God's moral character has to be seen again in both extremes. Not just love, not just moral purity, but both together. Not trying to form a balance between the two, but understanding that God is holy and just and pure and moral and will not tolerate sin. And yet, at the same time, the very same time, completely loving, completely generous, completely gracious towards us. And those two things meet in the cross of Christ. When Jesus died, the justice of God, the holiness of God, that cannot tolerate sin, met the love of God, which would not see one bruised reed being broken. The complete love of God, the complete holiness of God coming together. And that's what was happening in the cross of Christ, is that the truth about what God was like was being demonstrated to the world once, forever, for eternity. And that's why they say the Lamb was slain before the foundation of the world, because that's how God always acts towards the people whom he loves, you and I. And neither God's power nor his benevolence are compromised in the slightest by the existence of evil. That needs some thought, doesn't it? I'll leave you to think that over, and we'll talk about it further. God bless you.